Hey, I got these truth burgers, man. Want some?
No,
You can't handle the truth.
I just want to be in my safe space.
Have you ever run into an ex-girlfriend and been kind of impressed with her new look and just general outlook on life and just sat in your dad's pickup truck and said, yeah, I think I might love her again, and then given her another chance only to find out she goes back to the same crazy shit you left her for to begin with?
Am I pretty?
Well, that is what David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy felt like. The 2018 film gave us a little bit of hope, 2021's Halloween Kills, and now Halloween Ends made sure to kill those hopes by hammering a nail deep into our scrotums.
And just when me and Aiden thought this dumpster fire could not smell any more like hot, steamy Chipotle ass after Halloween Kills, this film, Halloween Ends, proves us all wrong. The Michael Myers saga is literally violated with this one movie.
Come on, squeal! Squeal!
Bring the holy water because we are about to exercise judgment on this bish.
In the name of Jesus,
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
I execute judgment on you.
This abomination starts with Corey Cunningham babysitting a boy named Jeremy. Corey gets locked in a closet by the boy and gets freaked out. He kicks open the door, hitting the boy, causing him to fall over the stairs railings, accidentally killing him.
Wait, that's it? That's it, bro?
And yeah, folks, that's literally the opening to a Michael Myers film. The final one of this story arc, where we expect, you know, Michael Myers.
I smell bullshit.
Now we join Laurie Strode, who's typing up a memoir about surviving Michael Myers. For a good portion of this damn movie, Laurie's biggest battle seems to be how to end the sentences in her book.
Just the sight of those breasts made Reginald's penis very hard.
Allison is also back, trying to move on from the events of the last film. And with the positive influence of her grandmother, she has gotten only the most moral and righteous advice.
You know, you need to find someone that can let go, that makes you want to rip off your shirt and show grief your fucking tits and say, you know what? Let's go.
I swear.
Fuck you!
As for Haddonfield, it's still haunted by the murders in the same way we, the audience, will be haunted by the lack of Michael Myers throughout this movie.
Do you think he's coming back?
I don't know.
In typical Hollywood fashion, and trust me, this only happens in Hollywood, this movie has Allison fall for the beta male Corey Cunningham because she has sympathy for his situation. Yes, because girls definitely want to hook up with a guy that plays the role of the neighborhood punching bag.
Store designer friend?
Shit!
After being beaten by some bullies, Corey is thrown over a bridge and dragged into a sewer. And finally, after over 40 fucking minutes, Michael Myers appears, who's been hiding in the sewers for the past few years. Seriously, this guy has to be close to 70 years old by now. But anyways, we're glad to see Michael, who grabs Corey and lets him go.
What?
Apparently, Michael can telepathically communicate with Corey and pass on his evil?
Wow, cool. Wait a minute. The fuck?
Yep, that's right folks, the movie is building Corey fucking Cunningham as the new Michael Myers. Corey leaves the sewer, gets into a scuffle with some homeless dude and accidentally kills him too, giving Corey a higher kill count in the movie than Michael himself. Haddonfield continues to blame Corey for Jeremy's death, causing him to eventually snap. Again, we're like an hour in, and Michael is still playing in a puddle of shit in some sewer, opposed to out and about killing people. So Corey teams up with Michael and they kill together. Yes, for the love of God, you heard that right. Michael Myers gets a partner.
Corey begins to act like Michael, which Laurie instantly takes notice of because she knows that look better than anybody. Honestly, she has a great memory because the lack of Myers in this shit show has caused us to forget what he even looked looks like.
Yep, this dude is just chilling in a hole somewhere like Saddam Hussein, bored out of his mind, patiently waiting for the writers of the script to remember this movie is supposed to be about him and Lori.
And if our balls could not be kicked any worse, we see Corey literally push Michael around and take his mask. I cannot believe the monstrosity here. Michael went from having power like this to getting his ass beat by this Dawson's Creek looking pencil neck beta. Man, Myers' time in that sewer really drained his gains.
Eventually, Corey goes on a rampage and tries to off Lori after she demands that he stays away from Allison, to which Corey responds that if he cannot have her, nobody will.
If I can't have you, nobody can!
And yes, people, this is still the Halloween Ends review. I kid you not, it actually is promoted as a Michael Myers film despite no sight of him. We just gotta be patient. And we'll see Myers and Lori face off. Okay? Everyone just stay calm.
Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Over an hour in, and we're still tangled up in a Twilight story nobody gave a fuck about. But anyways, Corey kills his bullies and tries to get Lori, who lures him into a room she's waiting for him in by pretending to commit suicide. Okay, why? Why do this?
Don't ask! No questions, just give the money.
Corey opens the door and is shot by Lori. He falls down the stairs and tells her if he cannot have Allison, nobody will, and proceeds to stab himself in the neck because he wants to frame Lori as Allison opens the door? How did he know Allison would show up to see this is beyond me, the world, the entire universe, but it happened.
Thing sucks!
Meanwhile, we still don't know what the fuck any of this has to do with Lori and Michael's story. Why would the writers do this to the fans?
'Cause fuck them, that's why.
The real Michael Myers finally shows the fuck up and retrieves his mask before killing Corey. Now don't get us wrong, we were happy as hell to see this pathetic character get murdered, but why build up Corey this way? Why invest so much into this character when you are just going to off him anyways?
The answers are sometimes best left unanswered.
And just now, over an hour plus of runtime, do we see Michael chase Lori. It is literally the final scene of the fucking film. We cannot comprehend how idiotic this is.
After a battle with Michael and a couple of typical swings and misses, Lori pins him to a table using knives and pushes a fucking fridge on top of him too. I can't begin to describe how silly this was. He breaks free from one of the knives and proceeds to attempt to choke a bitch out.
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
But lo and behold, Allison has stopped crying over Corey and breaks Michael's arm. Yes, a 130-pound skinny white chick just broke the arm of a guy who earlier lifted a whole body off of the ground and hung it onto a wall.
Lori slits Michael's throat and wrist, finally killing him. Apparently the beating with bats, 2x4s, getting stabbed with a pitchfork, and shot countless times were all within Michael's survival tolerance range. But God forbid getting your veins cut.
Michael is then put symbolically on top of a car and taken to a salvage yard where his body is dumped into an industrial shredder as Haddonfield residents gather to see this like some 4th of July fireworks show.
The end. This is how Michael Myers dies. This movie is what the entire Blumhouse trilogy worked towards. This is the conclusion.
This whole movie fucking sucked. And not only did this whole movie fucking suck, but this whole trilogy fucking sucked too. The amount of questionable fuckery in these films makes me want to drown myself in nuclear waste.
Help me! Don't touch me, man!
Whoever led this thing should just stick to doing pothead comedy movies because that's what this felt like. Being high. Oh wait.
Well, at least we know that they won't be destroying any other horror franchises. 2018's Halloween was mediocre at best, with unexplained twists like Dr. Sartain.
I'm Michael's doctor, Ranbir Sartain.
Oh, you're the new Loomis.
Turning turning out to be the one who let Michael loose because he wanted to see him in his natural habitat. How does that make any fucking sense? Why risk your life and career for this?
You also got Halloween Kills being set up as a bridge leading towards Halloween Ends, except the two are completely disjointed. Halloween Kills makes no sense in its premise. The movie is about Michael Myers going back to his home to stare outside of a window. That's it. His entire purpose is killing people on his way home. What in the blue hell kind of purpose is that? He's then shown in Halloween Ends living in a fucking sewer? What?
My home's a sewer.
The Blumhouse trilogy had way too many low points and did not take itself nor its characters seriously. You had stupid ass scenes like this.
Or like Michael taking on firefighters one by one.
From the dead to hell, toe slam! Oh my God! What a toe slam!
Or how about all the unnecessary jokes that they added in?
Oh man, I got peanut butter on my penis.
Oh shit!
Don't forget about the idiotic one-liners like,
Evil dies tonight!
Michael, you've come home.
That is so lame!
who the fuck would react like that seeing a serial killer in their house? Who wrote this shit? The trilogy had zero direction. Michael went from wanting to go home for reasons unexplained to chilling in a sewer. The story hopelessly drifted from Myers being an experimental lab rat for Dr. Sartain to Halloween Kills randomly focusing on Tommy Doyle and mob violence to Halloween Ends not being about Michael Myers at all. Thank God this movie's the last Halloween for this production team because it did nothing for Michael's legacy but bury it and shit on its grave. Hell, it might make us reconsider Rob Zombie's Halloween films. Maybe.
These movies weren't without their fair share of modern Hollywood messaging. Certain aspects were inspired by the Me Too movement, the idea of a woman overcoming her fears and battling an old white dude decades after her torment is quite telling. Laurie writing a memoir is symbolic of women coming forward in the movement. Some other moments are more open like this one.
I'm an innocent woman. Just like your sister was.
Bitch, you do know he killed as many men as he did women, right? As for Corey Cunningham, he was obviously an incel. Politics is not something a Halloween movie should ever be about.
You also cannot help but ignore the stupid ass characters in this film. Big John, Little John, the irrational decisions that characters make are also pretty breathtaking. Like Allison, her boyfriend Cameron, Leigh Brackett joining Tommy Doyle's crew to kill Michael Myers. It's equally as stupid to have Lindsay Wallace and Marion Chambers unite with two random characters we don't care about to warn people about Michael. The only fucking conclusion as to why they would write their irrelevant asses in this movie is to try to tie up the story of every character from the 1978 film. For fuck's sake, they forced so many of these characters in the script they might as well have added something about the broken pumpkin that Tommy Doyle fell on in 1978. Was it still in Haddonfield? Could it be looking for Michael Myers too?
It's time that the franchise took a new direction. Michael Myers being tied to Laurie Strode has been overdone. Their storylines felt forced and purposefully stretched out to fit into 3 films. Perhaps another studio could explore a film where Dr. Loomis and the police spend all of Halloween night hunting Michael down. One where Laurie Strode does not exist, or where Michael got to kill her that night in 1963, or just maybe have Michael terrorize some other family that's not his own. According to this new trilogy, Michael is not after Laurie anymore, yet somehow still finds himself hunting her. Why? What relevance does Laurie have to Michael when all he wants to do is stand in his room and look out the window like some old perv?
The original Halloween, created by John Carpenter, is a masterclass in suspense and horror. Watch it today and you'll find out it still holds up. The lighting, the cinematography, the wide shots, the score, they all create an atmosphere in the small town of Haddonfield that is truly terrifying. The performances of Dr. Loomis and Laurie are great. Michael is used correctly. He's not underutilized nor overused.
Before Halloween 2 made Michael and Laurie related, his stalking of Strode was more effective because she was just a girl in the wrong place at the wrong time. But now the connection between the two is simply unnecessary, and it keeps having to explain Michael being in the same place as her in some nonsensical way. Even if Michael was on a plane ride to Hawaii to enjoy his retirement, his plane would implode midair and he would fall directly into Laurie Strode's house. Michael Myers is literally chained to the Laurie Strode character, and it's beyond repetitive.
The Laurie Strode character was better written in the first two Halloween films. She was an innocent teen being hunted by a serial killer. But in this recent trilogy, she comes off as another repackaged senior citizen strong woman character, something we see a lot in Hollywood now.
Having the Halloween movies take place in modern times does not work in its favor either, especially when an entire town is after you. You mean to tell me nobody would catch this guy on a security camera or smartphone committing murder or hiding in a sewer? Having the entire town after him only for Myers to kill them all is a little excessive too. And having everyone trying to explain what or who Michael is got repetitive and silly. It was too much exposition. Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis alone did a fantastic job of getting us to understand of how evil Michael was, and his obsession with stopping Myers really conveyed that as well.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
The small settings, such as the house where the climactic scene between Michael, Laurie, and Dr. Loomis takes place, as well as the hospital in Halloween 2, are by far more effective choices in displaying the horror of being trapped and hunted by Myers.
Sometimes in horror, simplicity is key.
Sometimes it's better.
The original Halloween was simple, an emotionless serial killer in a mask hunting down innocent teens. We weren't overexposed to him, but we saw him just enough so that his presence loomed large over the quiet suburban town of Haddonfield. Everybody wondered what drove him mad, what made him tick, who is this man behind the mask? But that was the point. Michael's face was that mask. His motives are unknown to us, the viewers. That is the appeal of Michael Myers. Something as simple as Michael Myers staring at you from a distance is much more terrifying than having him fuck up an entire squad of firefighters.
In conclusion, this trilogy is a massive disappointment which had no steady direction despite going in various avenues at once. It tried stretching out a thin story into 3 films and got what it asked for. It's amazing to watch classic horror films, many of which had low budgets and outdated technology, and still managed to create art that stands the test of time. Meanwhile, here we are in 2022, bigger budgets and better technology, but shittier scripts with bland characters and no clue how to write anything that's halfway decent.
Evil dies tonight!
Yes, it did. But Michael Myers wasn't the only evil that died in this trilogy.